The following day, I noticed all these little red dots on his face. Go Zap Zap, go Zap Zap, go Zap Zap.
Goodbye.
Whoa. You like it? Beep, beep, beep. Move out of the way, Zozo. Move out of the way. He's coming through. Oh my gosh. Pass me my phone, Zozo. It's the pose for me, y'all. Look at him, though. Look at him, though.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay. You're gonna get it now. Hold on. Okay, what do you want? You want some food? Do you want food? Someone has their appetite back, huh? Look. Look. Do you want food? Zav, Zav. Do you want food? Yes, you want food. Okay. Say hi, everyone. You don't know what to think of yourself, huh? Hey fam, Sarah here. Welcome back to our channel. I'm just moisturizing my ashy knuckles. I'm about to get ready to go on the street, and so I'm actually fixing myself a little bit. Normally don't do it, wear makeup or anything, but I do have a couple of content. I do have some content that I want to film today, so I figured why not fix myself real quick. And also, while doing that, I'm just gonna kind of touch base with you guys and give you guys a little bit of an update on baby boy, because y'all ask me why did I forget to include it at the end of yesterday's video. Why? I can't forgive myself, because that was the whole point. I did intend on updating you guys. I felt so bad because that's not what I'm about. Like, I didn't want to put it up and keep you guys in suspense. I felt really bad, but by the time I realized the video was like already uploaded and everything, and then I was like, wait a second, I forgot to include this part. And then I contemplated if I should take that video down and put it up. And at that point I was exhausted, because it's been a struggle. It was a struggle trying to edit that video the whole day, because I'm actually currently in between that and braiding Charlotte's hair and, you know, all that. And we had someone come to the home and just like real life stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for all of you guys who wished Xavier well. This video is completely dedicated to explaining all that happened with baby boy. So yeah, as you guys can see, yesterday's video did start off with the day when he started getting cranky. It was just like it was kind of random. He just started feeling cranky, and I did think it was just teething, because it is pretty common. But guys, guess what I learned? I learned that like, just looking it up when it comes to teething in babies, as a mom of 5, I know that when my babies have teeth, that yes, they have come down with a fever. But looking it up, apparently, like, from what I've read, it's saying that there aren't medical documents indicating that fevers really come about from babies teething. It's like, oh, moms have stated this, moms have stated that, but doctors haven't really supported the idea. I was a little taken aback because I never knew that, and so it kind of threw me, you know, it kind of threw me off a little bit. But anyways, I'm aware that my babies can have fevers from teething, so I simply thought that's what it was. Let me fix this angle for you guys a little bit. Yeah, so I simply thought that's what it was, but it just got, you know, I ended up taking him to the hospital on day 3. So because I thought it was what it was, I didn't take him to, I didn't take him to the hospital up on day 3. Don't mind me if I'm starting to do my makeup, because that was the whole intentions. I was gonna do it while talking to you guys. So I didn't take him to the hospital day 1 or day 2. I ended up waiting it out, but his fevers kept going quite high, 39 point something, and every time you look that up, you Google it, it does say that's when you should be calling your doctor. So I tried calling my doctor to get him into my doctor's office, to no avail. My doctor wasn't available the first day that I was inquiring, so I was like, you know what, okay, I'll wait it out and see what else I can do. Then I tried, but then I got a hold of them, and they told me to, the receptionist basically just told me, you know what, just your best bet is to go to the ER or take him to a walk-in clinic. So I was very apprehensive, you know, with all that's going on right now. No one wants to have to take their baby to the hospital or take them to places just to be out and about with everyone, because remember that they're the ones that are the least protected at this current moment. Them and, just a second, Zozo, them and, you know, just toddlers. So anyways, he was so, not just grumpy and groggy, but he was so unlike himself. He was very limp. He was not, and I don't say really limp, but you could just tell, he just lacked so much energy. He wasn't eating food. His appetite definitely had changed, and he just wanted to nurse. So honestly, since he started feeling ill, he basically was breastfeeding all the way up until the day I took him in the hospital. He didn't eat any foods. So he started feeling light to me. We took him to the hospital. They checked him over. When I got there, the doctor said he was going to do obviously like a COVID test, but that didn't end up happening. But they checked him over, and overall he looked okay, because it's ironic. His fever was high, but if you guys know what happens with fevers, they do go up and they come back down. So it would continuously do that over the 3 days, of course, before going to the hospital. And I also gave him the medication like I told you, so that would help to break the fever. But then after like the 4 hours passed, the fever returned. So how ironic is, the day that I brought him to the hospital, the fever just, it was more the time, not the day, but the fever just subsided right when I brought him. They checked him and it was like 37.1. I was like, what? So, you know, he seemed okay. He seemed okay with it. But then as we were there, he got a little bit, I think worse. Like his fever started returning. He was always feeling like he was burning up, feeling super hot to the touch. And, you know, they didn't check his temperature again. I was hoping they would, but they didn't. But long story short, the doctor assessed him. Then he said, okay, you know what, we're going to take a urine sample, which is what I told you guys. And I've had to do this once with Zoe when we brought her home from the hospital. And the way it works is that it's just like a bag with like a, you know, I don't know how to, like an opening, and it has a sticky tape, so they kind of stick it around like the peri area so it can catch the baby's urine. So I think this is, for boys, this is a lot easier. When I was filming for you guys, I'd already been waiting for over an hour. Then I nursed him. The doctor basically just say, you just got to nurse him, and that's, you know, he goes whenever he goes. So at that point, I'd already been waiting at the hospital for well over like 2.5 hours. I ended up having to wait a little bit longer, and then he finally went. Long story short, what I was telling you guys in the video about him, if the urine, I was told if the urine sample came back with any type of bacteria, like traces of bacteria, they would have to then do something a little bit more invasive. At least it seems invasive to me, of using the catheter. I read someone's comment down below who was saying that the catheters for babies it's very fine. Well, it's good to know. But I was very nervous, and so I just couldn't imagine him having to go through that. I pray he never has to go through that. But they took his urine sample. It was an immediate kind of test. So they did get back the results right away, but I still had to wait around a bit for the doctor to not only read over it, but to get the time to come back and tell me, you know, what's what. So I was sitting in the room all nervous. Got to talk to my mom, got to talk to my dad, got to, you know, touch base with Aaron and the kids back home. And then I finally got the results, and he said, good news, nothing was there, and I was just like, thank you God. I felt so relieved. But then you're left just thinking like, what the heck is this? And he said, the doctor just basically said it was some kind of a virus. He didn't tell me what kind of virus it was. He said it's just something that you're just gonna have to wait off and just kind of, do what you've been doing. Give him the medication. He even prescribed another medication saying I could double up, and I was just a little bit shocked because I'm like, it's a baby, like how much meds can you give him? I didn't want to sedate him. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that because I just didn't feel very good about it. Anyways, he also said that given that I came in on day 3 and his temperature was as high as I was explaining, he said that if baby boy ended up having a temperature that was higher for like day 4 and day 5, if he had a temperature all the way up until day 5, I should bring him back in, because if they have a fever consistently like that, they have to get checked. And it's some kind of test that tells you, like they check their hands and their feet and stuff like that, to see if there have been any like complications with the fever in particular. We know that fevers are not bad because it's your body fighting an infection, and it raises your temperature, raises because it's basically at war with fighting a virus. But at the same time, they're very dangerous, and they can be very dangerous, so we have to be mindful of that. So anyways guys, long story short, I was left with I was left with the doctor telling me that, just go home and do exactly what you're doing. You're doing all the right things. Just, lots of comfort, make sure he's hydrated and he has enough peas and all those things, which are things I was already keeping track of. I was already documenting like all his temps and stuff like that. So those are things as a parent, like we have to do. Like when your baby's feeling sick, definitely go through and document those things for yourself. So when you go to the hospital, you know what to tell them. Though sometimes I feel like sometimes you're trying to tell it to them and they're not listening to all the things. It's just like they're just kind of fast tracking, because when you go in there, it's so busy. Like it's usually one doctor serving so many people, and sometimes you just feel like you don't get enough time, or it's just like a rush. I felt like he was rushing all the time. He was a very nice doctor, but I felt like he was rushing, and I could barely get like my questions in. He did stop and answer them, so I was grateful. But it just felt like it was just like this, boom, 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 and they're just on the go because it was a very busy night. So anyways, that happened. Anyways, I came back home. Baby boy was still feeling off for another day, but he was starting to get better. However, I had to pause a little bit because obviously I have a toddler in my house, and she just had to go on a trampoline for a minute just to give me a moment to speak. So she's out there with her sister. But yeah, so anyways, I came home and everything seemed to be going fine, and he started getting better, which was good. His temperature basically when his temperature broke, it's like it broke when we went to the hospital, because when we came back home, his temperature never returned back up to high, never elevated again. But he was still just uncomfortable. And basically, I tried to feed him. I was trying to get back into the groove of feeding him again, but he wouldn't eat any of what I was giving him. And he just didn't, I don't know. I also felt like he was suffering from kind of like gas pains. His stomach was making all types of sounds, and I think it was associated with the fact that he went from eating solids, because he was already starting to eat solids, to basically returning back to an all liquid diet for those 3 days when he was sick. So his stomach was doing all the things, and he was kind of gassy, and it was just a whirlwind. And then he basically seemed okay, like he was returning back to normal. But then the following day, I noticed all these little red dots on his face. The night before, I noticed about 2 or 3, and I just kind of attributed to him maybe scratching himself or something, even though it was kind of weird. They weren't like elevated bumps, but they were red spots at the time. Then the next day when he woke up, I noticed that he had like several of them all over his face. I was just like, oh my gosh. Then I checked his neck, and it went all the way down his torso. And then I'm like, oh, like seriously, what is this? Like, I hope it's not the chicken pox, even though he's already had like vaccines for that. man, parenting can be hard, especially when it's little ones. Oh, it's so stressful. I was like, babes, I woke babes up and I'm like, babes, I don't know what's going on. Like, am I gonna have to take him in for this? Because I've never experienced a baby having, I don't think hives or that kind of thing after having a fever. And just right now, honestly, I think also our anxiety is heightened during this time, because when they're sick like this and we know that there's a deadly virus going around, we don't know what it could be, which is kind of, you know, it's nerve-wracking and crazy. And it also didn't come too long after me having my vaccine, which was a few days prior. I'm definitely thinking that the two are not connected, so I'm not trying to ever, just want to put that as a disclaimer out there, I'm not trying to connect the two. But as a parent, it's only rational to even think and consider and even question, like, are they related? It was just a long few days. Babes got up, he checked it out, and when we were basically looking at over a whole bunch of different things, and what we narrowed it down to was a virus called roseola. Never heard of it before, never experienced it with any of my children, and I thought it was like what he had now, these bumps were called the roseola. But I think the whole point is the roseola was the main thing that caused him to have a fever and the bumps following. I never knew what it was, and what it is just that apparently it is when, I don't know, it's just a virus that your child can get. I forgot how it was passed on. It was passed on, I think, through the air or through you know, it is contagious, and it's passed on through the air. I don't know how he got it or where he got it or like why, because no one else was sick, but he did. And I mean, of course, he's a baby, so babies can pick up things so easily, and it affects his body differently than us, because this is his first time, like, he's being introduced to all these new viruses. So it was just tough. The bumps from roseola, they weren't even like raised bumps, but they were just little tiny red spots and little tiny bumps at times. Roseola states that these bumps come about a day or so, I think, after the fever, 24 to 48 hours after the fever broke. And it's exactly what happened with him. Looking at baby's pictures, that's exactly what he had. It looked the exact same as what he had, and they said that it would disappear within 24 to 48 hours or so, and it actually did. So you know, as parents, it's messed up sometimes, because you go to the physicians who, like, you think are gonna give you the answers, but I understand they're doctors, they don't have all the answers. We went there and we didn't have any answers, but then we came home and through deductive analysis kind of had to determine what it is that he had. And thank God it wasn't anything serious. That's what it was, and he's basically returned back to normal. In terms of eating what he was eating before, I used to give him like steel cut oats that I would I would blend it out, and he was eating that perfectly fine. He didn't like it so much after he came off of his little 3-day liquid diet there. So I ended up having to buy some baby food, which you guys will see it in the vlog, because there are a couple snippets where Babes and I will talk about this in the upcoming vlogs that you'll see. I guess it's more like raw parenting parents' emotions in the midst of the chaos and and living through it. But this video is more of a sit-down video. I really wanted to dedicate it to just telling you guys what went on, updating you and letting you know what was the matter and just the process and what we basically kind of went. I forgot to mention to you, when the doctor said they were going to check to see if he had any kind of infection or, like, I don't know, UTI, urinary tract infection, he was saying, he asked me questions like, is he circumcised and things like that. And then he was using his calculator or his phone. I think he was using his phone to look some stuff up. And then he told me that baby boy had about an 11 to 25% chance of developing a UTI. I was mind blown, because I never knew that. He's like, I guess being a boy, like, obviously that increases his chances. I'm like, what? I never encountered any of this stuff with my daughters. Like, I've never had any issues with them with any of those things. I myself have never really struggled with any of those things either. So it was just, it's new territory for me. I think I've had a bladder infection once in my life, and yeah, that's about it. Like, I've never struggled with any of those things, but apparently they're very common according to him. I don't know, how common is it? You guys let me know if you guys have had to deal with any of that kind of stuff. And maybe it's too personal. I don't know if it's too personal of a question. And that's what prompted him to do the urine test that he did anyways, because he's like, it's basically like a 1 in 4 chance, says that this is what it's going to be. Oh man. So anyways, guys, I'm happy he's back to himself. Let me give you guys a little glimpse of what he looks like. So anyways, guys, Michaela held him for a minute. I'm going to show him to you guys so you guys can see that he's doing well. This is my little face to go out on for my walk. I probably should have put on some sunscreen underneath this because, I mean, it's sunny outside. And I've just been messing up with my skincare routine. I haven't been applying the aloe vera that I typically do. So I'm going to do that when I come back. But I also have some content that I want to film today. So the fact that I'll have some makeup on will be good for that. Because if I don't do it in the house, it's not going on, honey. Because what's the point of wearing it in the house? I want to snuggle my kids and snuggle my babies and not have to worry about makeup transferring all over everyone. So it's just not ideal for me to want to put on this stuff on my face when I'm not going anywhere. Say hi, everyone. Say hi. Look at the camera. Look at yourself. Say hello. 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 Say hello.
So sweet.
You're so funny. Okay, jump. Jump. Jump-a, 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 jump. Jump-a, jump-a.
Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you.
Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you.
He loves to sing along.
I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you.
Good.
I love you. He likes to sing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more fun vlogs. Also, guys, leave a comment down below and let me know what kind of videos you want to see us do next. We do have some pre-filmed vlogs, as I just mentioned, where you will kind of see us motioning through this whole parenting thing with a sick baby who is not sick anymore. But, you know, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. So those are coming. But I'd love to know some of what you guys want to see. And if you guys aren't subscribed to our Fun Family channel, we do post on it periodically. We post mostly shorts over there. Definitely check it out. I do have a funny one of Aaron coming. It's of, you know, we do little challenges and stuff over there. Because just the way the YouTube algorithm works, it just doesn't like you posting all types of stuff, because then your channel, I don't know, it just likes you to be consistent with a certain type of thing. And so I do try to make the vlog still fun and show you just raw family life and my grocery hauls and things like that. And I'm trying to be consistent within that realm. But on the other channel, we can post a little bit more fun, exciting stuff too. So definitely check it out. And I should put the link down here. And I hope you guys enjoy. So until next time, guys, bye.